Sebastian Vettel's Formula One future has been up in the air since his departure from Ferrari at the end of 2020 was announced. But while the 4-times world champion will want to be in a winning car should he remain in Formula One, perhaps he should look further down the grid and consider a move to Racing Point for next year's Aston Martin rebrand. After all, the team is benefiting from huge investment as part of the transformation with the objective of becoming a winner in F1, and the investment from the Aston Martin side could rise as high as £200 million. It's a long shot to think that Vettel really would consider such a move, but there are 5 very good reasons why it makes sense. The final chapter of Vettel's Ferrari stint has yet to be written, but it's likely to end without the World Championship glory that was expected when he joined in 2015. Vettel is one of the most successful drivers in F1 history and deserves the chance to sign off on a high. While Racing Point is a long way off winning races, Vettel has the chance to play a big role in it establishing itself at the front of Grand Prix racing as Aston Martin. Even if that means not winning another World Championship, he could still make a big contribution and retire having reminded everyone just how good he is. Vettel is only 32, so can race on in Formula One for 5 years or more should he want to. That means he can afford to commit to a project that's going to require a few years' work before it has any chance of getting him to the front. Team principal Otmar Szafnauer has described Aston Martin's ambition to emerge as a race-winning force in F1 as probably a 3-year plan. If that ambitious timeline is successful, then Vettel can be around to be the one doing the winning, having put in the hard yards. The Racing Point team, which originally entered F1 as Jordan in 1991, is one of the great overachievers. It now has better funding than ever before and a connection to an automotive manufacturer that means it has the potential to emerge as a leading team in F1. This is also the perfect time for it to be building up, given F1 introduces a cost cap in 2021, as well as a new set of regulations in 2022. Pound for pound, this has been one of F1's best teams of recent times. What might it achieve when it has resources comparable to the leading teams now it isn't struggling for money? As technical director Andrew Green said, while F1's current giants are going to become dinosaurs thanks to the need to reduce their size, Racing Point is used to operating on a slightly tighter budget. Vettel has had some great moments at Ferrari, winning 14 races from 2015 to 2019, but in the past 2 seasons in particular, there have been too many mistakes. Too often, Vettel has been overly emotional in the cockpit, with a sense of calm that he exhibited in the Red Bull days strangely absent. As he's pointed out, the pressure is different and winning with Ferrari is an even bigger challenge than with other teams. The Racing Point team is a very tight operation without those wider pressures, and this could help it to get the best out of Vettel in a less political atmosphere. Red Bull was able to keep a lid on the emotional side of Vettel, so perhaps Aston Martin could repeat that. In the right environment, Vettel has proved how consistently brilliant he can be, and a move to this team might allow him to recapture his best form. Vettel has a huge amount of F1 experience and knows how to get the best out of himself and a car. This would be valuable to Aston Martin, giving it a proven team leader who can help to feed in the best of the working practices from both Red Bull and Ferrari. It would also lift the team to have a top-ranked driver in the garage, one with over 50 Grand Prix victories. If Vettel is able to perform at his best in Aston Martin colours, he will also be stunningly fast and capable of delivering consistently good results, as well as helping to develop the car with his technical feedback. When the Ferrari separation was announced, Vettel said he needed time to consider what's important to him. We still don't know whether he wants to carry on in F1, let alone if he'd consider dropping down the grid to do it. A move to Aston Martin will only work if he's fully motivated and determined to stick at F1 in the medium term. He'll also have to return to F1's midfield, which he hasn't regularly fought in since he left Toro Rosso at the end of 2008, and need to be sure he will be satisfied fighting for results other than race victories, at least initially. It will be a lot of work and require a huge amount of dedication. Only Vettel himself knows if he really is up for the challenge. But if he is, it would be great for Aston Martin, for F1 and for Vettel himself. But what do you think? Should Vettel take on this kind of challenge, or is it time for him to retire from F1? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.